Hey everybody. So now that Bitcoin has started to crash pretty significantly from its all-time high, the question everybody's probably asking is how low can it go? Would you believe $10,000? Now wait. Before you change the channel, let me explain where this came from and what my approach is when it comes to Bitcoin and these epic crashes. If you follow me on X, @GetErked, you've noticed that since the end of March, I've been talking about how I expect April to be a bad month for Bitcoin. And I've been expecting it to be a red month since the beginning of April. The reason for this is we just completed an historic move for Bitcoin. It had 7 months in a row where it closed green. In other words, 7 consecutive months where it finished higher at the end of the month than it did at the beginning of the month. Even though Bitcoin's been around since 2011, it has never done 7 months in a row like that in its history. This made me go back through all of Bitcoin's price action to see how many times did it finish 5 or 6 consecutive months in a row going up and what happened after that. And the news is not good. This is Bitcoin's entire price history. And as you can see, we have 7 different times where Bitcoin finished 5 or 6 months in a row and then had a pullback. And despite what you might think, the biggest pullbacks didn't happen early in Bitcoin's cycle. That's what I would have initially thought. I would have thought back before it was traded on Coinbase and all of the other exchanges that we would have seen a bigger pullback because of the lack of volume. Now, some of the biggest pullbacks, like the one that happened here in 2013 and the one that happened in 2014, did see publicly traded Bitcoin. But even then, the volumes were kind of small. However, it's important to keep all of the different scenarios in place because any of them could happen right now. Bitcoin just finished 7 months in a row. And like I said, it's never done that before. And since nothing continues to grow straight up, it's totally normal to expect a substantial pullback. Bitcoin has seen an exceptional rally just since the launch of the ETFs. It went from 38,000 up to its new high at 73,000. So what are some of the price targets we might expect if Bitcoin had a similar move to anything that happened in the past? Let's start with the most shallow pullback, which happened in 2017 after 6 consecutive green months. Bitcoin pulled back 40.24%. Now, using our current all-time high, that gives us a price target of $44,077 on the downside. The second least extreme happened after 5 consecutive green months back here in March of 2011. Where Bitcoin pulled back 48.92%. From our current all-time high, that gives us a price target of $37,675. In August of 2012, Bitcoin finished another 5 green months in a row, and this time pulled back 50.78%. This means that if that pullback happened now, we'd see a price target of $36,303 from where we are today. In 2019, Bitcoin once again saw 5 green months in a row and then pulled back 53.64%. Now you'll notice that there's this big red wick down here, but that's from March 2020. That's when the pandemic hit. And since that was a black swan event, I don't include that in this analysis. That means just from a regular cycle pullback, it pulled back 53.64%. From today's all-time high, that gives us a price target of $34,194 on the downside. This one's much more recent. 6 consecutive green months in 2021 were followed by a pullback of 55.69%. Our price target? $32,682. And now for the 2 really exciting ones. Now, I'm hoping neither of these are scenarios because they both happened in 2013. And like I said, even though Bitcoin was publicly traded back then, I don't feel like the volume was even remotely similar to where it is today. But since I'm a long-term investor, I have to take into account every single possible scenario, including these 2. In April 2013, Bitcoin just finished a 6 consecutive month run and pulled back 81.2%. Our price target today, $13,866. That's today from our current all-time high. Later in 2013, we saw another streak, 5 more consecutive green months. And this time, Bitcoin pulled back from November of 2013, a total of 86.96%. This is where we get that price target, $9,618 from our current all-time high. This final price target I have is one that I derived from looking at how far Bitcoin pulled back from its 2017 all-time high to the low at the bottom of the pandemic. It was a 62.91% pullback. And if that happened again, we'd be looking at a price target of $27,357. Now, is it guaranteed that any of these pullbacks happen? Absolutely not. And I'm not a bear on Bitcoin. In fact, I buy in stages and pyramid up all the way down. Even though in our current pullback, we've only dropped 19%. I've already made 7 different buys on the way down. And if you follow me on IRKED'S, you can see I regularly post my next 30 buys. Yes, I have 30 buys and then 30 more after that. The reason for this is I can't allow myself to be shaken out by Bitcoin's volatility. I've been in it since 2017, and it scared the crap out of me in 2018 and made me cut back dramatically on the amount of exposure that I had, which was a huge mistake. In order to be in this space, you have to have a strong stomach, but you also have to remember you need risk management. The way I manage risk is that I have a set amount of money that I'm willing to put to work, and then I buy in stages on the way down. I recently made a video where I went over my strategy in detail, and since I implemented it in 2018 at the bottom, it's never had a failed trade in Bitcoin. Now, I know that's a very extreme claim, but if you watch the video, you can see exactly how I do it and decide whether or not the strategy's right for you or if you'd like to take a different approach.